Good morning, everybody. My name is Lee George. I work here at the James J. Hill Center, and I help organize 1 Million Cups St. Paul, and that's where you are right now. We do this every Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and a couple of us organize this, myself, Paul Lampland from Gray Cloud Studios, and Greg Fowkes from here at the Hill also. The format's the same every week, and this happens in 66 cities, I think, now, across the United States. We are number 38, so you can go to a lot of different states and a lot of different cities, and you could visit these work with startups like this every Wednesday if you wanted to. The format's the same. We have 2 startups that present. They have 6 minutes to present, and then we have 20 minutes of questions and feedback and to challenge them to get them beyond when they came in the door. This is our Wi-Fi JJ Hill guest access. Feel free to tweet all morning. That's our hashtag 1MCSPL and our Twitter handles, so feel free to use that. Today we have one presenter, Joy Gomez with Service Manager Plus, and I'm going to just invite Joy up right now. Come on up, sir.
Thank you, Lee. Hi, folks. Do I read this?
Yeah, it's
sorry. Okay.
Doesn't amplify your voice out.
So I'm the founder and owner of Service Manager Plus. Okay, it's a SaaS application, and I'll take you, got about 6 slides. We'll run through this real quick. Okay. So the company was founded last year, privately held, about 4 contract employees. We have only about 30 paid customers and self-funded. Okay? It is a work order and field service management software. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Target market, it's designed for small to medium-sized businesses, anywhere from that have between 1 and 200 users. And again, that 200 numbers could be 500, could be 100. It's pretty scalable. It is used for industries like HVAC, lawn care, maid services, things like that. So if you have somebody on the road, if you have a company and you have technicians on the road, anybody on the road can utilize this. So it is to communicate with the field service folks and in the end somehow get whatever's happening in the field into an invoice and then get billed out. Okay? We integrate tightly with QuickBooks. So 100% of our customers today are QuickBooks customers. There's about 6 million users of QuickBooks. So that is where I'm trying to piggyback on. So you have a QuickBooks user. If they come and start up a trial with us, we automatically integrate with QuickBooks, bring in their customer information, products and services, and they can start creating work orders. Really very seamless integration happens behind the scenes. Let me quickly tell you what the software is about. Okay, it starts with somebody trying to create a work order. I'm a HVAC company. I create a work order. The minute I create the work order, it gets dispatched to a technician. Technician sees it on a smartphone, puts in the disposition for that work, puts in the time he worked, if he used any products, that also he pulls in. Again, all that information is coming from QuickBooks. So he's doing all this on his phone, pulling that information in. At the end of the day, when everything is done, he clicks work complete, Office finds out about it, star goes off, they open it up, everything looks good, they approve it, click post and close. It closes the work order in Service Manager Plus and creates an invoice in QuickBooks. And then the process continues for them to build their customer. So quickly, I am going to take you to the software itself. Okay, so again, it's the reason I started off with this screen is here are all the technicians that work for this company. They can schedule on the calendar. They can click here and see what's going on, or if they wanted to see just one of the service providers, they can see one of the service providers, and they can click anywhere and start creating a work order. As simple as that. Okay, let me take you to our home screen. This is Again, the internet is slightly slow here. That's why it's coming up, but there's a map here that shows up.
And while that's paused, I went to this site yesterday. The video that shows on the site is very clear and concise about how the process works.
So here's the map, since that's not, the internet is not good here, but here's a pictorial view of that. These are all the work orders that have been created for this area. I can browse over it and come up with the service provider that works for that work order, some details. When you double click on that, it then opens up the work order itself. Okay? Let me see how the internet is over here. Yep, see? So I can click here, and here's the different people, and I can click on it and open up the work order. Okay? So here is the mobile application, and you can do everything over here also. Okay. Lee, how many minutes do I have left?
You had about 2 minutes left.
Okay, I'm going to jump to my last slide. Most important slide. What am I looking for? I built this company, and I think I've taken it as far as I can. I need someone who can be a partner, who can be an advisor, who's good at marketing, who's got some knowledge about the space that I'm in, who understands SaaS, who understands marketing, things like that. That is what I need. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody who's aggressive, young. I shouldn't say young because I'm quite old. We're all, I'm only 21. I just look old. But I don't have the knowledge to do this, to take this any further. That is what I'm looking for. Okay? And of course, without funding, it's going to be tough. So somebody who can come in, articulate my needs, get the funding, and move it to the next level. That's it.
Talk to us about your sweet spot. Talk to us about those customers that really are your sweet spot.
Sure. I think a sweet spot, again, I'm trying to understand that. I know that we have several levels of users. That means we have it starts at $29 per month. That is for 2 users. 5 users is $49, 10 users is $99. I think the sweet spot might be between 5 and 15. I don't even want the 2 users because I've come to realize as much as we try to service them, it takes up too much time, and the minute the wind blows the other way, they're gone. So it is useless. Company, because this involves changing someone's process also. And they need to understand that, and there's some effort that goes into it. But the good thing is, because they change the process, now they're stuck for life. So I don't mean to say it in a condescending manner, but
Give us an example. One more question. Give us an example of one of your clients, how you work together with them, and just take us through that one.
Sure. Dennis Shea. He's a mechanical company in the Boston area, actually by Philadelphia. He was one of our first customers, and he worked with us to get the solution to what it is. So the first thing I try to do with the customers that I've had up until now is I ask them 2 things. What is your pain point? What are you trying to solve? And then I give them a hint. Are you trying to go paperless? And immediately they say, yep, I'm trying to go paperless. And from my understanding, all these folks outside, are driving around, they are still on paper. The majority of them on paper, those are the folks that we want to try and get in to this, and they have not recognized the value of going into an electronic solution. I don't know if I've answered your question, but I think kind of roundabout I'm getting there. Yes?
If I were using paper right now and I turned to your system, how quickly would it pay for itself and start making me money?
I have to articulate that. Excellent question. I need to articulate what that savings is going to be. And I don't know what that is right now. I think it's substantial. The way I look at it is, I know that I used to work for UPS 30 years back, so you know how old I am now. 30 years back, if I was working for UPS, do some math there. Those diet boards that they carry, the computers that they carry around, I used to be a driver too back then, as a young supervisor before I became that. And when we were on paper, and nobody understood why we needed to go into computers. When we did that, we recognized how much data was behind that, and then we leveraged that data. I don't know how that translates to a small business, but there is a translation. And I need to articulate that. Go ahead.
I'm Jake, and I own Jake Plumber Company and Resource Plumbing, Heating, and Air. So I think it's right up my alley.
Absolutely. We should talk.
We're looking at a service management software system to get away from paper invoices. We just had, 1,000 invoices at the end of the year that were mangled on the floor of the truck or on the seat, stand on the brakes, they go on the floor of the truck, on top of the car.
Yep.
You don't know what's what. I think you'd have to answer that question. How much money would we save by asking your customer, how much money are you losing? I mean, how much money is not billed? How much money is not accounted for? How many?
There is revenue leakage.
And if they can kind of define that, how much, when we hired our general manager, we estimated that we were about $30,000 in forgotten invoices. Just people that we forgot to bill. We couldn't find the invoice. We didn't know what we did there. It didn't get turned in for 2 weeks. The guy was sick. The technician was sick and never turned in the invoice. So and then a month later, you can't really call the customer up and say, hey, did I bill you? And how much did I?
Yep.
We called up and said, do you want to pay us anything? I mean, do you remember? You got a closed check? And we just seemed really unprofessional.
I think you're right. I have to articulate what you just said is the real problem, but I have not articulated that. That's what I need some help doing also.
You can answer a question with a better question.
Yeah.
To sell your company.
Who is your competitor right now? Who would you say you're
I was just going to get to that. There is about, from what I understand, there's about 400 companies in the space. Looks quite a bit. I think it might be internationally. I think it might be internationally too. I could be wrong, but I think it is international. The closest competitor that I try to compete with is called Jobber, getjobber.com. I suspect they are about $3 to $5 million company, because if you go to their website, they have 27 people working there. I did some quick math and said, okay, if you have 27 people working there, usually it's about 60% of your industry. Yeah, labor is about 60%, right? That is the math that I used. What I do know, I've had customers tell us that our solution is actually more intuitive to use than theirs. We are not into, ours is purely work order management, and maybe work order management only. Maybe that most companies just need this piece. They don't need the bells and whistles that make a software so crowded that the technician it becomes difficult for the technician to use it. I'm claiming that in 7 minutes of watching a video, a technician will be able to utilize this. That's how simple and user-friendly it is. And also, another thing is the cost advantage. It used to be that 5 years back, if you had to do something like this, you would need a laptop, you would need all kinds of Wi-Fi, all those things installed in your truck to do it. Today, all you need is your smartphone, which you already have. So the cost has dropped dramatically, and with the cloud the way it is today, the cloud is faster than ever. So that is why and another advantage I also have, I think, again, this is just my presumption, that the companies that have been in this space for a while, they have old technology. They have not, mine is the latest technology that there is, because we just build it. So we use Microsoft Azure, very strong platform for our cloud computing. And everything is, I have even been told that when we look for a product in that smartphone, It is literally 10 times faster than Intuit's application, who's also a competitor. And my price point is the lowest. I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm the bottom feeder. Right now I am. but it's also a cost advantage that I have, I think, because my overhead is extremely low. It is extremely low.
How does it serve the customer? I mean, if you take your company and everything, you've got a guy that goes out there, frozen pipes, he wants to know what's it going to cost me. Actually, with frozen pipes, he's saying fix it. But with a job that he may not know the full realm of it, does it generate the invoice right there, or is it putting it on and then they can sign their name?
Yeah, you can sign your name and everything on an invoice right on the phone. The thing is, if it's a company that's a little bigger, which is the market that I'm trying to get into, I don't want the bottom feeders in the space. But here's the work order, and what you can do is, let's say I opened up this work order, and these are all the work orders that's assigned to me, and I can just collect my signature here. Send an invoice right from here, upload an image before and after. So a lot of things that can be done on the spot right there and there. But if you're a company that's got about 5 or 10 customer technicians, at that point, all the billing is done afterwards. It is the small mom and pop stores that have 1 and 2 customers that want, hey, I want my money now. And I don't even want that customer. So the crux of what I have to tell you is, it is a huge market. It is an underserved market. The competitor that I have, we have a better product than them, but they are racing through this process because they have the funding, they have the marketing power. That's what I don't have. I have the product, I have a great product. I can accelerate this. I can easily make this into a $3 to $5 million company in no time.
So, Jordan, before we were talking a little bit about funding, you said you might not be ready to go to a VC, but possibly an angel, or what would be your next seeking funding?
My initial thought was, let me get to 100 customers and take it from there. But I think the product is matured enough that my problem is I don't have the reach. I get 1 or 2 customers in a week. Whereas my competitor, who's doing pay-per-click, which is extremely expensive, it's about $12 a click through Google, that's all they do. And they probably get in about 100 customers a week. And they're flying through.
How much funding would you like? What are you talking about? What's your best guess?
Probably 250. I'm just throwing that out now. Probably 250 to get the marketing going and things like that.
Use that in marketing?
Purely, I would say 80% of it would go in marketing and 20% would go in development.
I can tell you that investors are generally not interested in financing marketing.
Oh, really?
If you've got more gadgets or more widgets on there, they will consider that and everything, but they want you to fund marketing, and they will fund the technology.
And there are ways to do marketing that's besides pay-per-click that are just as effective. They take a little bit more time, but I would say that we've been first page on Google for a year and a half, and we have never paid pay-per-click marketing. But there are some books about it, and talk to some SEO guys that really understand the organic kind of grassroots marketing that get you out there. You'll have 100 customers in no time. You'll have 1,000 customers in no time once you have that. And it's really based on review type stuff, different review sites, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, different things like that Google reads that and knows it's relevant information. Real people have reviewed your product, and it works for them. They were happy with it. Google finds that. The next person who's out there looking for the software like I did in the middle of the night, 2 in the morning, frustrated. I said, there's got to be another way. And I started Googling. And we went to a few different companies. We ended up with Java. We've been with Java.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I'm here today because I think the strong point is product development for you, because you don't know what, we don't know what we need until we realize we don't have it. I'm out here
sure.
in the field and I'm trying to put together something on my phone and I'm like, Jobber sucks, you know? It's a great product. They do a lot of things, but there's a lot of things that are missing. And then you call them and say, hey, I need this. And they say, okay, yeah, that's in our next update.
Yeah, okay.
That was a year and a half ago. You know, so they don't have the capacity to build what they need to build, even though they got a great product. It's a huge project to build something like that.
I,
You have how many customers now?
25, 30 paying customers.
How did you get those 30 customers?
We do some SEO. That's all we do, you know.
Review. Have them all write reviews.
I think that helps. I think you're right.
You're adding 1 or 2 a week, is that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on a big customer now. I'm hoping I can get him. He's a 35 user. You know, when someone needs something, I am able to provide it to them in less than a week. Because I get to work 20 hours a day, and I write a lot of code.
I'm shocked, really, that you're getting customers like 1 or 2 a week, that kind of thing, with the little marketing or the little emphasis you have on your company. You must have a great product. I mean, because it's selling itself.
I want to talk to this man. he's going to help me understand the difference between my competitor and this. I want to,
This partnership that you talked about.
Yes.
And even the funding is
yes.
so important for what your next step might be, unless people disagree here. I think that partner that can help you bring this along is a big deal.
Yes, and I think I'm not greedy because I know that if I'm greedy at this stage, I could fail.
From your comments up your way to know you're a humble guy. We're past that.
You were talking about PPC is expensive, and so a good chunk of my background is marketing and automated processes and functionality of a small business. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. But you know, even at $12 a click, which you're right, is expensive. You know, considering the other markets that are available, the other industries, et cetera. You know, $12 is a substantial spend. However, if it brings in that customer at $99 a month, $12 within the profit margin, you know, the first month or whatever, sure, it might be that, but, you know, second month, third month.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So even, you know, even $2,000, you know, you're talking about 250,000, even $2,000 a month in PPC, you know.
Is PPC better than organic SEO?
It's not better, it's just different.
Okay.
You can turn it on and off. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I just don't have the money to do it.
You know, I've had success with startups that were able to do $500 their first month, you know, in PPC and not, you know, got them a couple of customers. And when you're talking about residual income, a couple of customers is everything, you know what I mean? It's a big deal. So
Yeah, that's why I say that 30 customers and start for this gentleman, for Joy to get this going, pretty amazing. It really is, so good points.
And I'd like to say too, like capacity is the most, you know, as a small business, we're stuck in this place between we need to grow and then can we handle it? And, you know, I mean, of course, you know, we need to grow, you know, we need to make more money. And yeah, we can handle it because we were handling it fine then, but as it grows exponentially, the problems grow exponentially, and you need to have capacity, you need to have staff. Right now, you can work 20 hours a day, but you only got 24.
Oh, I agree.
And 10 more customers or 20 more customers that are demanding and say, we need this, you're not going to be able to get it to them in a week. Then you underperform, and then we go to job.
I totally agree. When I said the scalability, I'm talking from a technical perspective, the scalability is there. I mean, I can click it and increase the cloud capacity just like that. But I do recognize what you're telling me. At some point, today I can someone asks me for something, Java might take a year to do, I'll do it in 2 days. In fact, tonight, after this, I got to go do a couple of things for a customer, and I'll have it for him by tomorrow. And they're amazed. Oh, shucks, how did he get this done? But I know. I have 2 programmers. Again, they are contract, whenever I need them, but they are right now working quite a bit for me. I do a lot of it. I do all the SQL Server part. I do all the backend part.
The what?
The backend code writing. Yeah, like the SQL Server part. And the front end is what I outsource out.
Do you have a day job, or is this your?
Yes,
That's all you do?
I have a day job. I have a full-time day job. I cannot tell you where I work. It is not a competitor. It is a totally different field. It's a healthcare industry. In fact, actually, it's a healthcare place.
And what kind of work do you do there?
I'm a process engineer. So I look at systems. When I say process engineering, if you have, anything is a process. So I used to work for UPS for 21 years, and I was an industrial engineer there and operations management. So process engineering has been my. Then I came to the healthcare industry, and people were wondering, how can I work at UPS and then suddenly start working in the healthcare industry? Because it is process engineering. Everything is a process.
Good field to be in.
You have to be really good at it for somebody to get the payback. I can see through a process. It doesn't matter what the industry is, but I can see through the process. So when I talk to customers, I try to understand their process. In no time, I'm able to understand their process. And we're talking about HVAC, lawn care. In 5 minutes, I understand their process. And then I'm able to relate the software to that. So when I build the software, that process, engineering was always in my mind. So how can we move this as a process? Because as much as people like to say, yeah, get your software to fit my process, it's not possible, because then if you start to do that, then the cost of it will go exponentially high. So what I tell people is, I'll get you about 85% there. We will solve 85% of your problem. The remaining 15%, do a process change. I think it's fair, and when I tell that to people, people understand that, and they recognize that.
How did you get the idea?
I guess I can say this. 5 years back, I lost a ton of money and went into some deep depression and recognized what I was good at. And I said, I am good at writing code. This was my hobby. And I used to always write code for fun. And at work, I used to write small applications for different things. The first time I wrote this, I wrote it in MS Access. I thought to myself, wow, what a great product this is, MS Access. Found out nobody cares if you wrote it in MS Access, because it is such a useless platform to write it out of. This was about 5 years back. So then by then, I started learning some SQL Server, and then I got into .NET, and then really understood that platform and started writing. First, I wrote a tracking program because I was at UPS. I said, this tracking thing is a great idea. So I actually wrote a tracking program in C# and failed miserably. 0 customers. And it is purely because I didn't have the marketing expertise, I think. I think I was just doing it just to get away from what I was doing. Then I reinvented myself, and then I launched it again with a slightly different touch to it, and got 1 customer. So I abandoned that. But that customer is still with me. She just uses it. So I said, okay, I'll let you use it. She pays me very little. It's still in the cloud. But I know at some point I want to go back to that, because I can do a few things and really make that an awesome product. Because when you talk about tracking, people love, like, oh, really? I can track? With today's smartphone, I can take that places if I just haven't had the time to. So that's sitting there. And then that evolved to thinking, okay, I have this mechanism here. What can I do? So when I started researching, then I just morphed that infrastructure into a work order management system.
Joy, we are out of time.
Sure.
questions, but our last question to our presenters always is, after all presenter lined up for next week, but we're always looking for more. So if you are a startup or no startups, please let one of us know and we'll get them connected in. Feel free to stick around. There's plenty of coffee provided by CityKid Java, which is a social enterprise, and they sponsor the coffee at this event. And talk and network. Our library services open up at 10 a.m. and they're on the 3rd floor today. So if you need to use databases, do some market research, industry, sector overviews, anything you need, our business librarians will be there for you. And we hope to see you all next week. Oh, next week before 1 Million Cups, starting at 8, is our networking. We do that the last Wednesday of every month. Last month was our first one, and we had 40 people here. It was great. It was a good way to meet some new people and bring some new people into 1 Million Cups. So I recommend you come to that. We'll be putting it out in our weekly emails to remind you. But and 1 Million Cups right after that too. So no, we'll be upstairs. So today there's a big event. The Builders Association is here. There's about 220 people here, and then they're going over to the Capitol, and then they're coming back. Yeah, you can take a look at what's going on up there. But it's a good event. So thanks everybody for being here, and stick around.